Good morning. It's Monday, and for once I have lots of books to talk about. I participated in a readathon this weekend, the 24 and 48, where you're trying to read 24 hours during a 48-hour period. And I'm not sure if I've ever successfully done that before, but I did this time, so yay. I actually got a bonus 30 minutes in, so 24 hours and 30 minutes worth of reading. And audiobooks saved me on this because I took a whole bunch of print books home and I didn't read any of them. I finished a print book I started, but then everything else that I read this last weekend was on audio. So here we go. I had already started this before the readathon, but it's The Ballad of Amy Miles by Christy Alley, and it is a post-apocalyptic story about a girl who grew up in a very isolated, like super fundamentally religious place, and a virus has gone through the United States and it's made everybody barren except for a couple people. Not very many people can have children anymore. But anyway, story opens, this man has come to their compound, and she finds out that he's there to try to get a baby on her. And she's like, I don't know how I feel about that. And all of her aunts and uncles are like, no, we're not going to let this happen to you. So runs away, and that's not the majority of the book, the running away and the finding the new place, but she's looking for her mother. She's also, along the way through the story, she's coming to terms with, how the world really is versus how the way she was told it was, and then discovering other things about herself as well. Yes, I highly recommend it. We don't have it here yet, but I think I will buy it. This is another audiobook I listened to, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, and it's an adult book by Ocean Vuong. And I had it on hold, and it finally came through, and I was like, okay, I will listen to this. It is not a feel-good story. It takes place like at the height of the opiate epidemic in Hartford, Connecticut. The main character, his family comes from Vietnam. There's just a whole lot of trauma in this book. It was very interesting, and I do feel like it is an important contribution to the literary world. But it's, like I said, it's not a feel-good story. There's a lot of like I said, trauma. So I don't have it here, but if you want to read it, then let me know and I'll buy it. It is of literary merit. So moving on. Jacqueline Woodson, Miracles Boys. This one was really, really short. I want to think it was just like 2 or 3 hours long. It's very short in print as well. We have it in print here. We have a lot of Jacqueline Woodson, actually, and we have it in classics. And I meant to look up the publication date before I started this, but I forgot. So if it's 15, 20 years old and enduring and it doesn't fit in another genre, we usually put it in classics. So that's why this one lives there. But it's about a family where they have lost both of their parents before the book has opened. The older brother has graduated high school and he is forgoing college to take care of his younger 2 siblings. One of the siblings was in jail when the mother died. The youngest child found the mother dead in the bed. So there's all kinds of what could I have done? What could the youngest child have done to prevent her death or save her? The middle child is, conflicted. What could he have done if he hadn't been in jail? The older child is, dealing with all of his own stuff and taking care of the younger siblings. It was a great book. I would highly recommend it. You were going to feel stuff in it, or at least I did. But it's great, it's quick, but it's chock full of so much stuff in a tiny little package. Let's see. Is that the only one on here? Yeah. I did also listen to this one. We have it in print here, but I listened to it on audio, and I would highly recommend the audio, okay? While I was listening to it's narrated by the author, and while I was listening, I was thinking, is Nick Stone also a voice actress? Because wow, she was just phenomenal. I would listen to her read anything. But this one, we've got it in romance. I might move it to maybe mystery or adventure, because it's not, the relationship is part of the story, but I didn't feel like it was the biggest part of the story. At the beginning of the book, we meet main character, and she works at a gas station. She is 17. She's still in high school. She is helping her mother financially. She has a younger brother who is has some medical issues. The mom has some medical issues, but they are struggling. And on Christmas Eve, she's working Christmas Eve, and a little lady comes in and buys 2 lottery tickets, and she gives her one of them. And then it turns out later that her store sold a winning lottery ticket, and time goes on and no one appears with this lottery ticket. So she's thinking this little old lady must have the winning ticket. So she and her friend, who's not her friend at the beginning of the book, they come together and they are on a quest to find this missing lottery ticket. So I won't tell you how it turns out because then you wouldn't need to read the book. But it was hilarious, and also all kinds of fun stuff happens in there. Let's see. This is one that I listened to before the readathon, All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson, and it is self-titled, a memoir manifesto, okay? So it is, he says in the book that he wrote this book this is the book he needed when he was grown up, okay? So it talks, candidly about being gay, about not fitting in, about not feeling like you fit in the boxes that society is trying to put you in. There are some descriptions of gay sex, which, you don't often find, but, if you need to know how that works, read this book. But I would recommend it also. Good stuff. Important. And let's see. This one I read in print on my phone because it's just more convenient for me a lot of times to read on my phone. Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I have read almost everything by Grady Hendrix at this point. There's maybe 1 or 2 books I haven't made it to yet, but it is set in the early 90s, and it is a book club that has splintered off from another book club, and it's a bunch of housewives, and they are alternating true crime with novels. So every now and again between chapters you'll have like a book title and a year that goes along with what's going to happen next. But anyway, so she is participating in this book club and having a good time, forming a group of friends. Meanwhile, someone has moved to town and there's some weird stuff happening, and she's like, this guy's not all right. Listen to me. And they're like, you've been reading too many morbid books. You don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you need some Prozac. What's wrong with you? But she's stuff's going on. They really should have listened to her. Anyway, check it out. And last one, Good Luck Girls. We also have this. I did read this one in physical print form. I didn't read it on my phone or anything like that. I read it in print. Good Luck Girls by Charlotte Davis. It is just good girl gang adventure. I can't really figure out where this book really needs to live. Right now we have it in fantasy, but it's a western. It's westernish. And there's ghosts that want to eat you. And there's cursed tattoos that you can't remove. And there's all kinds of stuff going on in there, like I said. And that's all I'm going to give you on that one. So check it out if you want to know more. And that's all I have today. That was a lot of stuff. So see you, bye.